Have a good day, kids. It's me again, Teacher John Ryan Saputalo. Today's lesson: the natural rocks found. Again, natural rocks found. Vocabulary. Vocabulary. Number 1. Rocks. Rocks. Number 2. Stone. Stone. Number 3. Minerals. Minerals. Number 4. Magma. Magma. Number 5. Lava. Lava. Number 6. Igneous rock. Igneous rock. Number 7. Sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock. Number 8. Metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock. Alright, now let's learn where can we find a rock. So, if you're thinking, where can we find a rock? Of course, rock is all around us. In geology, a rock is any naturally occurring solid mass or aggregate of minerals or mineraloid matter. It is categorized by the minerals included, its chemical composition, and the way in which it is formed. Just like this one. Okay, as you can see, many formed of rocks. Are rocks found in nature? A rock is any naturally occurring solid mass or aggregate of minerals or mineraloid matter. Rocks are usually grouped into 3 main groups. The first one is the igneous rock. The second one is the sedimentary rocks. And the last one is the metamorphic rock. Three types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. What is rock, by the way? Rock is a naturally occurring substance that is normally made of minerals. Some rocks are made of only one minerals, and some others are made of several minerals combined. Look at this. Yes, one rocks are made of several minerals combined. As you can see, yes, that is a several minerals combined in one rocks. Igneous rocks are formed when magma cools in the earth crust or lava cools on the ground surface or the seabed. Look at this. Types of igneous rocks. Okay, so we call this one extrusive. Cooling time seconds to month. Texture invisible or microscopic grains. And this one, we call this one intrusive. Cooling time thousands of years. Texture small to medium grains. And about this one, we call this plutonic. Cooling time millions of years. Texture large grains. So that's the types of igneous rocks. Sedimentary rocks. As you can see, these layers are made of tiny pieces called sediments. Some sediments are formed from rocks or minerals. Others are bits of blunt shells or other hard materials. Sedimentary rocks are formed from sediments. This one, the pieces, this is sediments that are pressed and cemented together. Okay, as you can see on the picture, that one, this layer are made of tiny pieces called sediments. Now, it can take millions of years for sediments to become rocks. Can you believe that? It takes millions of years for sediments to become rocks. Igneous rocks. Below Earth surface are areas of melted rock called magma. When magma cools and hardens, igneous rocks form. Igneous rocks can also form from lava above earth crust. The texture of an igneous rocks depends on how fast the magma cools to form the rocks. The slower it takes to cool, the more minerals grains will form. If it cools quickly, the rock will have a smoother, glassy texture, like this one. This is the obsidian, and in the middle one is the granite, and the last one is the basalt. Now, metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks arise from the transformation of existing rock to new type of rock in a process called metamorphism. Okay, as you can see, look at this. This is the example of metamorphic rocks. Another example of metamorphic rocks. Now, what is the most common rock found? Sedimentary rocks. So, the sedimentary rocks is the common rocks found. Sedimentary rocks are the most common rocks exposed on Earth's surface, but are only a minor constituent of the entire crust, which is dominated by igneous and metamorphic rocks. All right. So the common rocks is the sedimentary rocks, but are only a minor constituent of entire crust above in the earth surface, which is dominated by the igneous rocks and the metamorphic rocks. Okay. Where can rocks be found? You may find rocks along your driveway. Look at this. Or in a flower beds. Or along the side of the road in front of your house. Look at that. And in garden centers, many kind of gravels for use in flower beds. Also in the seashore. Look at that. Stones, pebbles. All right. Even underwater. And also in the lake. Including even in the desert. Look at this. Yes. You may be able to find limestone, marble, scoria, granite, gneiss, or river rock, which will have a wide variety of rocks. Look at that. Why are there rocks everywhere? Anyway, you look at it. Rocks are everywhere. Rocks are all around us. Sedimentary rock, wind and water cause erosion, breaking of pieces of rocks and carrying them from one place to another. Gradually, these pieces along with sands Pebbles, shells, and plant matter gather into layers called sediment. Okay, watch this.
Every rock on Earth has a story to tell, spanning millions or even billions of years. Some of their secrets can be unlocked by detailed investigation using sophisticated instruments. But you can start to unravel the history of your rock in just a few minutes with nothing more than a magnifying glass and your own detective skills. Rocks are either sedimentary, metamorphic, or igneous. A good first step is to solve the mystery of which type your rock is. Most rocks are mixtures of minerals. The key to telling the three main rock types apart is to describe how those bits of mineral fit together, which is called the texture of the rock. In coarse-grained rocks, you will be able to see this texture with the naked eye. For finer-grained specimens, or to see more detail, you will need a magnifying glass like this geologist's hand lens. The garage string is to hang the lens around your neck, so it's always handy. Sedimentary rocks are made up of broken bits of minerals, other rocks or fossils, all stuck together. You can see that these grains are clearly separate from each other. They may have a rounded shape or be jagged and angular. The gaps between them may be filled with much finer grains or material like clay or mineral cement with no visible grains. If you can see crystals of minerals with well-defined regular shapes, and these crystals are closely interlocking like a jigsaw, then you have an igneous or metamorphic rock. So, how do you tell these two apart? Again, it's down to texture. In igneous rocks, the crystals are randomly oriented because they crystallize from molten magma. This makes them look blotchy or uniform. In metamorphic rocks, the crystals are usually lined up in one direction because they have been compressed by forces at depth in the earth. So many metamorphic rocks have a pattern or fabric to them, visible as streaks, stripes, or bands of color. But what about fine-grained rocks where the grains are too small to see the texture? How do you tell whether they are igneous, metamorphic, or sedimentary? Luckily, there are some other clues that can help us piece together a rock's past. Many sedimentary rocks have layers of different colors or grain size, a legacy of how they were laid down. If you find a fossil, the remains of a creature that lived long ago, then it will be entombed in a sedimentary rock. Also, many sedimentary rocks are softer and look less shiny than crystalline igneous and metamorphic rocks. You cannot tell a rock type by its color alone, but certain colors can be used to infer a rock's chemistry. For instance, reddish tints usually betray the presence of iron oxide. You can use other senses to gather clues as well. Weigh a rock in your hand to judge how dense it is. Are the mineral grains hard enough to scratch steel, or softer than a fingernail? And how does the rock feel to the touch? Smooth or gritty, crumbly or glassy, dusty or sticky, slippery or jagged? The smell can carry hints of sulfur or oil, but it's probably best to stop short of taste. If you treat every rock as a detective story, it can take you back to the scene of the crime, whether that was the death of a trilobite or a volcanic eruption hundreds of millions of years ago.
Okay, activity time. Write your name here, follow the section, level, then number. Direction. Glue each word in the correct spot. So, where is the word? Here, this one. You choose here in the correct spot. Where is the spot? Here. This one, this one, and this one, and this one. Now, copy the sentence. After you glue this word here in the right spot, then copy the sentence here, Kian, here in the space provided. Okay? All right. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoy our class. Thank you. See you next meeting. Bye bye.